welcome in this very last favorites video of this year, sharing with you some finds. So it's going to be mainly books and my new fireplace clock. I'm so happy to share that with you. So for the whole time I arrived in this apartment 4 years ago, I was hunting for at least 1 or 2 fireplace clocks, which for me embodied totally the castle, chateau atmosphere, and I really wanted to have one which would work with my fireplaces. But I couldn't find the one I wanted, which would work too. Very important. It's quite easy to find old fireplace clocks which are not working. You can find a lot on eBay or everywhere else, but one which is really nicely working and nice and not at a crazy price, it's a bit more difficult. And I was hunting especially here in my city, so I go on a special second-hand website which is the most popular here in France, which is called Le Bon Coin, and this is where you find everything, and it's really meant for French people actually. So I guess if you're foreigner, you wouldn't guess to look on this website, because a lot of people don't ship also on this website. It's really for more local people who want to sell really locally, but sometimes they ship. And every time I have something fragile, heavy or big, or that I know I need to find it locally, I will go on this website. And for clocks, I was very often looking on my city or 20 kilometers from my city to try to find something nice for the fireplace. So, and I could never find anything. So this week I eventually found it, and I thought it's really timely because it's the end of the year, transition between one year and another. The person who was selling it is from my town here, and she told me she doesn't only sell this one, it's just a normal person, not a professional, but she's selling all the things, furniture, decor, objects belonging to her grandparents who had a very nice house. And she told me she had a garage full of things. So I kept her phone number, email, details very preciously. And I will go back very soon when she's going to send me some photos first of all the other things she had. She has other fireplace clocks, all that. So I'm going to keep her very preciously. So it is an old 19th century fireplace clock which works with this thing. So there is no battery, there is nothing, and I love that. I want to replace the one in the studio with another one like that because I find it so nice. You don't need a battery. I mean, in the 19th century, 18th century, technology was working great. We forget that. So this, you're supposed to put it here. It's for the main thing. And here, it's, I think, for the sound, the music, all that. But I didn't dare putting it here, and I don't want to break everything. It seems pretty fragile. So for now, I'm happy with already the clock working, and I will see a bit later how I managed to make I think it's each hour. I'm not so sure if it's each hour or each half an hour. So I will have to see that. I'm new to clock world, so I just go slowly because I don't want to ruin everything. So I guess I will have to do that once a week. I'm not really sure. If you have a similar one, let me know how often you do this thing. I've read online that it's once a week you have to do that. So, and it's better if you don't wait for too long so that the thing is always working nicely. So I will see, I will discover that, but I feel it really gives a sort of heartbeat to your home, really, when you have a nice old clock. And it's not so loud, by the way, the sound that this one makes, but it's really nice. It just gives a background sound that you always have with you. I know contemporary clocks can do that too, but it's not the same. It's really simply not the same when you have an old one. So I will cherish her, that's for sure, absolutely. She will stay here, and I will see if I can find another one for the studio, which would be a bit similar, a bit the same style. And you can see I have, of course, reorganized all my decor. I removed all my Christmas decor, and I added a teddy bear for my sweet friend from Holland, Caroline, who is a teddy bear artist, and the old doll belonged to my grandmother, so she's from the 19th century. I don't remember exactly which date, and I will need to make her some costumes, some dresses, so that she could match. There was a glass, and the lady who was selling it, she broke the glass just a few hours before we met, so that she could give me the clock, and I didn't want the glass, so the glass which was protecting it. And among my favorites this month, I will mention the first book of Sarah A. Chrisman. Last time I mentioned that in my, I think, summer favorites, This Victorian Life, and this time I listened to, in audio version, her first book, non-fiction book, which was called Victorian Secrets. She published in 2015, I think, or 2013, I'm not really sure. But it was such a great book for those of us who are interested in the past, in the way of dressing from the past. She does that, and she has experienced wearing a corset now for almost more than 10 years, I think, and it was super interesting. I'm interested in corsets, of course. I'm fascinated by earlier periods than her, but I was really interested to see how she really did that, and the reactions of people, and all the adventures it created in her life, not only corset but everything, all the problems she had with baby boomers, elderly ladies who were extremely upset by her corset, and all these things. I was very interested and fascinated by that, so I've listened to this book in December and really enjoyed it. And I was also interested to see all the misconceptions we have about corsets, myself included, though I adore this silhouette, of course. And in papier mâché, I'm a paper artist, but when I was a teenager, I was creating all sorts of things in paper, including costumes. And corset is one of the very first things I created in papier mâché. Of course, it was completely improvised and was not following anything special. I just had my costume books and trying to see how I could imitate that. So I did several ones. So I was always interested in how it would really work. And she also wears one, I think, at night, so to give you an idea. But she talks about all the benefits she had from it that you wouldn't guess, you wouldn't have an idea, because there are so many misunderstandings about corsets due to the 20th century evolution, all that. But sometimes we forget and we judge past periods a bit too easily with our own glasses of now. We forget that they may have some benefits in wearing corsets for your back, for the posture. You know, we live in this screen, computer, mobile phone world, and we will have a lot of problems with that physically. And she talks about that, how for her it changed her posture, it improved her weight, it had a lot of benefits in her life, and it pretty much changed her life to wear that. So I was super interested. I would recommend it really. If you don't know it already, maybe you know it, because it was published many years ago, but I'm just new to her world, so I've just discovered it now, and I really enjoyed it. So I would recommend it if you have any interest for clothing, for the past, and for doing things a bit differently. That's also the thing I really enjoyed in listening to the book, is seeing someone who goes really far in her journey, really, to do things totally differently than anyone else around her, and still does it completely. And sometimes it's not easy, maybe family, friends, neighbors, people in the street. When someone like that is dressed in 19th century style and does everything like that, she has some reactions. She triggers reaction in her daily life all the time, and she has to deal with that. So it's very inspiring and interesting if you have any interest, like me, for the past. So another book I'm going to mention is this one, Le Guide de la Correspondance. I found that in my old bookshop, of course, and you know, I'm interested now in going back to writing to my friends, to even some clients too, and go back to taking the time. I didn't do it much this fall, though I bought my ink and all that, and I wanted, after listening to her first book of Sarah book, actually, I really wanted to go back in a sort of different way to communicate with people, my close friends. So I was interested to find this book about writing, really. So it's a book about, I think, early 20th century, all the examples of letters you need to have in all the moments of your life, like for wedding, for death, for events, Christmas, New Year. It's sort of gathered all sorts of examples of will letters which have been really sent for all sorts of occasions, and you also have some context of how the wedding were organized at this moment. For example, I take the wedding, you have the beginning, fiançailles, flowers, presents, the clothing, linen you need to organize. So you also have a bit of historical things before having all these examples of letters. And I thought it was super interesting. A lot of very practical details of daily life. So I really enjoyed it. And you also have a lot of examples of will letters of famous writers and people from 18th, 17th, 19th century. So truly enjoyed it. I just started to look at a bit at it, but great book. And at the beginning of December, a sweet, very sweet apprentice magician sent me this copy of Madame d'Aulnoy fairy tales. You know, I have many books by Madame d'Aulnoy, but I'm always interested to have others and to have different editions with different illustrations, all that. And this one, there are two I don't know among the collection. I think there were there were 7 fairy tales, and 2 I never read them because I still keep some of her fairy tales unread, just because I want to. She didn't wrote so many. She had a few novels, but she didn't wrote so many fairy tales. So little by little, I start to know all of them, and I want to keep a few surprises till I can even work on them or do something with them. So there are 2 which I still didn't read. I keep them, and I'm going to go through it. But just a sweet book, sent by a really adorable apprentice magician. So. At the old bookshop, I also found this extremely intriguing book, which I didn't find a lot of information about that online, which is a book about examples of découpage, you would say, in wood, iron, or anything, not paper. Well, I can say 100% it wasn't paper, by a character. I don't know who he is. If you are Italian, maybe you could help me. Arturo Fumel, Milano. So it's translated from Italian, and it's not super well translated. So it's really something which has been probably printed in Italy. And it's about découpage, l'art du découpage, so with drawing. So this one is just a little something, and there is the whole book, so about examples of things, but I didn't exactly understand how it worked and what people were supposed to do with that. I think it's in wood or, yes, iron, they say here. It's wood, metal, ivory, all that. So it's really fascinating. So if you are interested in art and you're in Italy and you have more information about this gentleman, Arturo Fumel, let me know, because I couldn't really find things online. So I don't know if it was example, people would order the sort of pattern to do it themselves, or if you could buy it, or it's very intriguing. So, and the books, I thought it would still be very inspiring to have all that, because it's for all sorts of objects from practical life. So, for example, here we are arriving at the new year, and here it's just a cadre pour calendrier à effeuiller. So it's to create a sort of frame for the calendar. You would remove all the sheets of for every day. So you have all sorts of objects. But I thought it was really inspiring, all this ornated decor. Anyway, and you have all sorts of objects. So, but not in paper. This I can say it's only, you see, thermometers or shells for chest game, a box for chest. This one is really nice. This is for your weapons when you go hunting. So very interesting, very intriguing. I was really happy to find that. And the man who was not the usual seller at the old bookshop, it was another man. He told me it was for paper, using for sort of paper découpage, all that. And I could tell him, no, it's definitely not for that. It's for more stronger material. And someone has written something at different places. I'm not sure if they created the decor or not. They use it as examples, but yes, it's really like, it's really inspiring. Yes, maybe something for lampshade, all sorts of things. I just thought you can always be inspired by a book like that for all sorts of things. For my art, but for drawing, for painting, maybe for home projects, who knows. So I was really happy to find this book. But there is no text at all. There is no explanations of any kind. There is this thing, and here there is just the pictures. And he had been in many expositions générales italiennes, so many sort of big exhibitions where they were showing everything. And here, I don't know what's this one. It was all in the book. So yes, you have. It's really not well translated. That's why I thought it comes from. They translated from Italy by someone who didn't speak really, really well. So it's fun. It's really fun. But yes, you have all sorts of things. So I thought, really precious, a precious find found at the old bookshop. And last but not least, I would like to recommend an album of French 18th century, late 17th century Baroque music. I've listened to this entire fall, winter, beginning of winter season every single day when I was here, just to tell you how I adore this music. It's called Les Barricades by two young musicians from the younger Baroque generations. You'll see here Thomas Dunford and Jean Rondeau, who are quite popular in the Baroque world these days, but the cover doesn't give at all a good idea of the music. It's just enchanting, everything is absolutely perfect, and it's probably the sort of music you would have if you entered in a chateau, in a castle. It's really beautiful, meditative, very profound. For me, just the sort of music I could listen to all day long without getting tired at all, and it's just a very good collection of pieces of music, very popular at the time, very beautiful and very, very well played. Thank you very much for watching this short favorites video. I wish you a happy new year again, and I hope to see you very soon with other little treasures and all my nice videos I couldn't do in December. I will have them ready for January, works in progress, all that. So I thank you very much for all your support throughout the year. I know we all went through a difficult year at different levels, so I hope 2020 will bring you all the joy and the magic you need in your life. I will do my best to have really nice things coming this winter, and I hope we will all have a magical winter, whatever happens. So you can subscribe if you don't want to miss all the next videos, and you can give a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. I thank you very much, and I will see you very soon next year.